Way Kahnawake. It's time for another episode of Educating Kahnawake Rono.
That's right, we'll be taking you through of all of Kahnawake schools to give you the 411 on what's happening out there.
First up, Kahnawake Survival School received an award for being environmentally friendly. Take a look at that story.
Well, for the Kahnawake Survival School project, several years ago in our planning, they were considering creating a green building, it's called, where you have as much as you can, zero carbon impact, things like that. Due to budget, we had to cut a couple of those initiatives, but several we've kept. One of them being the geothermal systems, and as well the placement of the windows, a solar wall, different things like that were put into place. That allowed us to compete in this category for institutions within Canada. And our engineers, Pajot Morel Associates, who are exceptional, probably the top engineering firm in Quebec, basically did the submission with us and were able to secure funding for this through a subsidy through Hydro, which we're going to be receiving real soon, as well as the ASHRA award, it's called. I went to a dinner in February to receive this award, and we came in first place within Quebec and honorable mention third place within North America. We had several iterations of the design, and it was a real fast-track project looking back, because we had several different options that we were looking at, but always lowering operational costs was the #1 priority, due to the fact that for years we've always had 14 buildings and a hydro bill that was through the roof. So we said, given today's technology, here's an opportunity for us for the next 50 years to lower our costs of operations and take that money and put it back right into the classrooms where it belongs. We're saving anywhere from 40 to 60,000 per year in costs. It's in a cold winter, it can be as high as like 50 to 60,000, but in a mild winter like this, we're looking at 40,000. And that's in a larger space as well. We have larger usable space in this building compared to the old buildings.
On the old site, with moving building to building because of rain, because of extreme temperature in winter, it was very uncomfortable. Even in fact, in cases where people would slip and fall, we've had certainly injuries. So I think the fact that we're in one building all day certainly tends to make it easier to manage things, to get to classes. Certainly there was always the fact that we did lose not necessarily the movement from being in a campus style, because we still do use the outdoors. Certainly recess lunch, and teachers are welcome to use our trails in the back for cross-country skiing and for any science projects. So we haven't given up on using the outside environment around us. So but the school in itself is a much better building.
No schools have this type of system that we know of. The ASHRA award was related to institutions, and the fact that we were first in Quebec, I mean, no other institutions, whether it's a school, a hospital, anything like that, have had that. You're seeing more and more now hospitals are including this type of technology. And for us, like, everybody may think, oh my gosh, what did it cost? How much was it for that? The system paid for itself already through the subsidies we received, because we received subsidies through Natural Resources Canada, additional federal grants through Indian Affairs, and as well through Hydro-Quebec. Like, with this project, there was so much determination there from our school committee, from parents, myself, the engineers, to say, no, we're gonna get this done right. And in the end, I think the total price tag for the building was close to 13 million, when originally INAC offered us $6 million. So we more than doubled it, and basically used our position as Kahnawake to say, no, we're not accepting what you're offering. This is what we want for our community, because we know this is what we needed for the long term. One other area that Dawanidatsu alluded to was the outside development, and what we've always done with our plan is said that the building square footage, bricks and mortar, would be the priority, things that we can add later. And we know through history of education, other institutions, that they don't add later. But the things that we did reserve on the side that we knew we were gonna do, that we have to do, are like the sports fields, for example. That's one area. I did a submission to Economic Development Canada about maybe 3 months ago, and we received confirmation of 196,000. So right now we're in discussions between us, the Mohawk Council, Indian Affairs, and the Combined School Committee to see where we're going to get the matching dollars for that. We're hoping a combination of that. We have some private funds within the community that we're applying to as well. So we're hoping that in the end we have a sports field that's going to be around $400,000 to meet the needs of the school, all as part of our recruitment strategy. Because we know outside of Kahnawake, schools have what's called sport etude programs, and in U.S. schools you see their scholarship programs. Even here at Cooper Academy there's a scholarship program. So we know we have to compete, and a lot of times it's not just what's in the classroom, but it's what's going on in the school life, in the environment. Sports is a big part of that. We look forward to breaking ground this spring and you know, having the community come see it in the fall. As Native people, we want to walk the walk and say that you know, if we're looking at environmental conservation, that as an organization, the Kahnawake Education Center should be promoting these types of things, and we are. And the geothermal system is the first of its kind in Canada in the school system, and we're glad to be the leaders in that. When we talked to Indian Affairs as well, they did say that this was the top facility in Native Canada across the country for high schools and for any school, I guess, for that matter. But in particular, it's the model for what they're looking at across Canada, and they've continuously asked us for advice and plans and different things like that. Of course, we say we'll help if they're willing to help us, but for the time being, we're just happy to, I guess, receive the accolades for it.